Now, Beyonce. Let's have a look at her chart. Now, Beyonce, as you have to be living under a rock not to know who she is. She is world famous pop singer, who is married to Jay-Z. It's also a very famous rapper, musician. Now, her chart information we have that she was born at 10 a.m. on the 4th of September 1981. Okay, and that means for her chart, her year pillar is Yin Metal Rooster. Her month pillar, Yin Fire Rooster. Her day pillar, Yin Wood Rooster. 3 out of 4 already. And her hour pillar, Yang Metal Dragon. Okay, that's one difference there. 3 roosters and 1 dragon. She must have had terrible last year, the year of the rabbit. Okay, now from her chart, we can see that she is a follow power in her chart. So her best 2 elements are metal and earth, and what she doesn't like would be wood and fire. So having a look at her luck cycles, which is what her chart, how it interacts and also interacts with her luck cycle. And the luck cycles are 10-year blocks in your life, and they're different pillars, seeing them as just like different pillars, but covering 10 years of your life. So, okay, we are going to have a look at starting from when she was young. When she was 8, she was in the Yang Earth Dog luck cycle. And yeah, because she's born in 81, that'll be in like 1989. And during that time, she was placed in a group at 8 years old called Girls Time. And then in 1997, well, that group apparently went on and started continuing to perform and so forth, was together until 1997. It was formed into Destiny's Child. That was formed. Remember the group Destiny's Child that Beyonce was a part of? And now that happened in the next luck cycle, which was Yin Earth Pig luck cycle. Now, before was Yang Earth Dog, and then it was Yin Earth Pig. Now, having a look, those are earth times. So basically, as I said, one of her 2 best elements are metal and earth. So she was in an earth period. And so that was favorable to her. And yeah, she started being in that Destiny's Child when she was in Yin Earth, a luck cycle that time. And so, yeah, and that was one of her favorable elements. And until she went into the pig area, and even though, and that was, pig is mostly water. It didn't really have anything much to do with the dragon or the rooster. So they were still essentially water, and so water is one of the 2 best elements. And in 1999, her song Say My Name won Best Song at the Grammy Awards. So her luck just continues coming, doesn't it? And she keep releasing song after song and album after album. Water is a neutral element for her, so okay, as the pig was. Now, the next luck cycle was Yang Metal Rat. Now, her 2 favorable elements are metal and earth. So again, metal, favorable element from 2002. And so with that, she had a film debut in Austin Powers Goldmember. If you remember that movie, I didn't recognize Beyonce before. I guess I wasn't quite aware of her back then. All I remember was there was a black lady with a big afro in that movie. And now thinking back, oh yeah, that was Beyonce. And I didn't put two and two together back then. It was familiar, but I wasn't that aware about her back then. And one other thing with her being with a rooster. Now, the rooster does combine with her dragon, and that forms water. Okay. And so it formed water, so got a combination, and I guess then she became dominant. She changed in that cycle, so that's still fine for her. And so that was fine. She became dominant, and again, starting in that same luck period, October 2002, her first solo recording. So got out of Destiny's Child and became a solo artist effectively. And she's had, a lot of people that break away from bands and groups, they try their hand at going solo, I guess, because the problem with being in a band or a group is that you've got all these people that have to, in the band, there's got to have a consensus or have to agree on what we're going to do next, this tour, that tour. And the more people in the group, the more problems you have. Okay, because of differing opinions, personalities. Not only that, one might have an issue with family. They've got to, they've got to tend to something, and then that really mucks up the group. And so I guess a lot of artists that have been in groups and bands also then either just do a bit on the side as a solo artist or leave the band and try to hit it solo. And from memory, I haven't remembered too many of them being successful on their own. I guess there's always exceptions, as because, John Lennon, I mean, after the Beatles split up, he still had a very brilliant solo career. That's what comes to mind. And I guess the Supremes with Diana Ross, she used to be part of that, but that was an old one. And recently Beyonce. So she has a name for herself outside the band now, and a lot of band members and groups. I mean, especially K-pop groups, they kind of like they're not known outside the group. Once they leave the group, they're almost like a nobody. It's kind of like the group is bigger than themselves, and so they just get drowned out as part of the group. Yeah, but it hasn't happened to Beyonce. It looks like, well, she's even made even more leaps and bounds outside the group. And now, okay, the next luck cycle following that was Yin Metal Ox. Again, the rat's over. She's going, and Yin Metal, she's gone back to follow power, and Yin Metal is good for her. As metal is her best element. And the ox actually combines with the roosters. And so then she's that makes more metal. And so, it reinforces her follow the power, the metal being important for her. So, good luck as well. It's really aligning because in 2014, she received an MTV Music Award. The Music Award, and she continued to release singles and albums. And in 2024, the next luck cycle, 2024, her next luck cycle in 2022 was in Yang Water Tiger. Okay, so water, like I was saying, it's more or less a neutral element for her. And the tiger, well, it doesn't really combine with anything as such, but the water being it starts in 2022, so it will end in 2026. So she's still in the Yang Water luck cycle, and it's neutral. And she's launched a hair care brand called Seared, or something like that. But have you noticed that she has been a little relatively quiet? I wouldn't say absolutely quiet because this is Beyonce. But in terms of relative to everything else that she's done, it's been quite a quiet period relatively for her. Now looking at other parts of her chart, her rooster is in her house of spouse, and the dragon is in her year pillar, which is also known as the child palace or house of children. And the rooster and the dragon combine. So spouse palace and child palace combine. So it means husband and children would be good. I mean, they get along very well. And yeah, like I mentioned before, 2023, last year's year of the rabbit would have clashed all three of her pillars. So because she's got three roosters in her year, month, and day, clashing with a rabbit, all parts of it would have been affected. So last year wouldn't have been very good for her. I would think she may have had some relationship issues behind the scenes, at which we don't know about. And she was relatively quiet last year as well, 2023. Okay, another thing with her yang water that she is currently in, it is generally okay, like I say, except when wood is there, like in 2023, because wood, as you know, is one of her least favorable elements. And she's actually going to go into the tiger period, which is mostly wood. And that would happen in 2027. So not so good when that happens. Because, as you know, and also tiger and is fire and wood. Besides being mostly wood, there is also some fire with tiger. And that would happen until, like I say, 2027. It would be bad. Like I said, it'd be quite bad for her. Okay, from 2027, it'll be bad until 2032, when she's out of this luck cycle. And then it's the same sort of thing for the next luck cycle, which is 2032. Okay, that would be, the next luck cycle would be yin water rabbit. Now, yin water is okay for her, but when the rabbit comes around, so it starts in 2032, so the rabbit luck cycle will come around in 2037. Okay, from 2037 till 2041, she will be in the rabbit luck cycle. And what did I say about rabbit? Rabbit last year clashed with all three of her roosters. Okay, but that was only 1 year. Imagine it going on for 5 years, as what she would happen when she goes through the rabbit luck cycle from 2037 to 42. Actually, to 42, yeah, rabbit. So that part, I think, where that happens, her career is basically over at that time. Just like I guess you can say Madonna's career is over. Look, there's conjecture. You can say ardent fans of her would say, no, she's doing very well. She's still releasing albums. She's still doing concerts, so to speak, though. Her most recent concert, she did not fill the stadium. That's what I've heard. Okay, don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard. They said, mentioned about her concerts. Besides the fact that everyone thought it was, well, not everyone, some people in some quarters thought it was quite sad for her. She's in her 60s now and she's still trying to be sexy and still thinking she's a 20-year-old. I mean, older women, yes, they can absolutely be beautiful and sexy, but there's an element of age appropriateness to it. Okay, and she hasn't got that down. And I guess she's still in denial for a lot of things. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed about. We are all going to age. That is an undisputed fact. And whether or not we age it gracefully is a different matter. Though, as we age, I guess we adapt to different periods of our life. And what's appropriate than that and what is more comfortable for us in different stages of our life, because we are no longer the same person. We grow. We learn, we get smarter as we get more experiences in life. And so our thinking changes, and yes, and when you do get more maturity, but it's just when people are absolutely denial for that, then people, well, I wouldn't say laugh at it. There's some elements, some people that laugh at it, but more than not, people shake their heads and think you don't have to do that. You can act your age, so to speak, and still get respect and still get admired. You know, and a certain amount of respect that comes with being older. And it's because you have more of that life experience. And that's what people respect. But if you're going to be that age and have none, not show any of that, then you're not going to get the respect. So that's the thing. Well, hopefully Beyonce, when she gets to that, she will be graceful about it. And so looking at that, her first half of her life is been brilliant. Absolutely. She's had a bang, 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 bang. And all lucky for her, all along the way, they've been really, in her chart, no hindrances. So she's able to have success after success. This is the stuff we can tell from someone's chart when we do a reading. I look for things like that, see how easy it is for someone to achieve. Some people are just luckier than others in terms of their chart flowing through a lot easier. There's no blockages, so it's almost like the weather's calm for them, and so they get smooth sailing. So whatever you want to try, just try. Get out, because you'll be able to pull it off like she did. Though she is going to come up with some choppy waters, starting, let's just say, from 27 and to 32. Then she's going to have a bit of a respite. Then it starts again from 37 to 42, when she has a bad spot. And then from 42 again, it's another wood. So not so good for her. And then by that time, she'll be well into her 60s. And so you can say that almost the career's over, because after that then she go into a dragon for 5 years and then it's back to wood again. So really, first half of her life, great. Second half of her life, not so. But I guess if she'd made enough money for herself, set herself up and have made wise investments, she's able to hang on to it. So when the choppy periods come up, she's not going to be pulling in those crowds and all that money. She'll still live very comfortably. Okay, and so this is the stuff that you can get out of a reading. It's, you know what your timelines are. You know what's coming up, so you can plan accordingly. And then this is a big advantage, is for knowledge. Knowledge is power, and so forth. And so knowing that, you know that you're going to have a run from this time to this time. Make the most of those periods and stash away what you can to overcome the bad periods where you just have to lie low. Okay, not trying anything, being anything different to minimize the chance that anything can go wrong. Because when you're in a bad spot, a weak time, anything that can go wrong would likely go wrong. That's the issue. So good first half of her life, second half, not so good.